Good morning, guys. My vehicle was towed. This is what I'm gonna be covering today. Welcome to Building Connections Doral Talks. I'm your host, Betty Gonzalez. And today, I want to, before I tell you everything about what happened to me last night, I want to say happy 4th of July, guys. If you're here with me this morning, hey, you're a trooper. Thank you for tuning in live. I know it's a holiday. You might have been sleeping in, but if you're not, here we go. Let me tell you what happened to me yesterday that got me so upset. Not so much because it happened to me or because it just happened. It got me upset because I think it's not fair to the tenants. It's not fair to the owners. It's not fair to people that go visit you. So that's what we're going to talk about today in Building Connections. Doral Talks about how some associations abuse and don't have clear guidance on where to park once they're in your premises. So there you have it. Let us begin. I'm going to start by telling you what happened. So I have a family member that came to visit from out of state, and this family member is a cousin of mine, and obviously we have an aunt in common. So she staying with me, and we were going to my aunt's house so that she can visit her mother. Because she just came yesterday. So guess what? Naturally, it's a work day. So she's waiting for her mother to come out of work. So we didn't start heading back down there until after like almost 7. By the time we got there, it might have been 7 or past 7. We go there, we park in a space that looked like it could be a guest parking spaces. However, this is where the trick goes. The space does not say guest. You only have either reserved parking with a number on it, or you have yellow parkings, right? So, okay, so assuming that the yellow spaces are for guests, I park there. Mind you, I've visited this place before and I park in the yellow spaces. My family member have lived there for a few years now, and they know that you're not supposed to be parked there past 10 o'clock for overnight. I don't know if this was an assumption or if this is something that was told to them before. And I'm going to read to you some of the parking HOA rules based on what my family member provided to me yesterday. They only gave me a picture. They didn't provide the whole contract, right? But they did send me a picture of the space that talked about parking in their condominium association, right? Which I'm going to show to you in a minute. But so here we go. It's past 9 and we're about to leave, and I go to where I thought I was parked, and I was like, I tell my cousin, Kati, I don't see the car. It's gone. It's like, what do you mean? Like, it's not here. I'm pretty sure. We try to walk down the street, down the other side of the parking spaces. No, this is it. This is where we parked. And I was like, so the people that live in the condominiums, they're just sitting outside of their house, and they see me looking for a vehicle. And I was like, oh, you think they told us? Oh, yeah, this happens here all the time. And I was like, oh, really? But why? I mean, I don't see anything. I didn't park illegally. I didn't park in a space that says it's reserved. And then as I'm looking, the neighbor says, okay, so you see by the dumpster, there's a sign that says tow away zone, which it makes sense because it's right in front of the dumpster. And I said, call that number because those are the people that usually tow the vehicles. Sure enough, I went there and I called the number. And they said, hey, I was visiting this place and I'm not able to find my vehicle. So they tell me, what's your big vehicle? And I was like, it's an Acura MDX. And so, yes, we have it. And I was like, okay, so what was my violation? So what's my violation, sir? Why was it towed? And this answer was, I'll call you back. And he just hung up like that. Then I was given the number for the people are the safety or the security in the building, and I'm calling, and then I ask, hey, the same thing. And I said, well, it's in the rules and regulations. You're not supposed to be parked here past 6 o'clock. And I was like, okay, I understand that you have rules and regulations. However, I don't live here, and there's no signage anywhere saying that you're not supposed to park past a specific time. This is what I was told. So very sarcastically, he was like, I don't care. I'm just telling you they should have known. And if you don't know, that's your problem. And I was like, I'm not telling you I don't want to follow the rules, but what I'm saying is they need to be clear to everybody, not just people that live there. If you're a guest and the gate is open and you're just free to come in, there's no signage at the entrance, condominium rules, or anything whatsoever. And then what bothers me is that you don't even get a warning. Like you don't get like anything like a note on the car or a ticket, like if you don't move it by this time, because then they clearly seeing that you are violating your staying overnight or something. No, they just automatically take your vehicle. And then it's like, no fault. So, okay. So they keep telling me that there's in the rules and then the regulations that I should know. And I said, well, I'd like to have them. And they said, well, you don't live here. And I said, but I'm affected by this because now my car is taken. Okay, well, they said that I could come to the office, to the front office and get it, which I will, because I want to do a follow-up. Because the reason that I want to follow through with this is mostly because I believe this is happening to many people, and people don't take the time to speak about it. They don't take the time to really read the rules. And we just go by, oh, it's in the rules. He's in the rules. They tell me it's in the rules. It's in the rules. It's in the rules and regulations. But nobody, I read the rules and regulations. This is what it seems like to me. And later, I was speaking to, they changed over. It was a different person because it took me a while. By the way, I called the police to do a formal police report that they have towed my vehicle. And it wasn't even past 10 o'clock because according to what we thought, you're going to be there past 10 o'clock, which we were not at the time that I was trying to get my vehicle. And this lady told me that, like, everybody should have known that the person living in the premises needed to call them so that they could give them a pass, and we will put it in the front of the wheel, in the windshield. Now, mind you, I told you that my family member have lived there for several years, and this is the first they've heard of this. And if this is an issue, what do you think should be done by the association? Maybe send a letter if it has been changed. Maybe the rules change. Maybe they were always like that. Let me tell you, they tell me that they can have the rules in Spanish, in Creole, obviously in English. So I was like, okay, so let me see. So when I'm looking at the contract, all of these regulations are in the contract that they signed when they moved in the premises. And they're in English. And I'm going to read to you how this reads. And you tell me, maybe I'm missing something, or maybe I don't have all of the information. I'm going to share with you. This is the most I had here, okay? It says parking. I took out the number for my family members, obviously, to be out of this because this is not they're doing. Parking is strictly self-parking. This is for the people living there, for the tenants. I didn't see anything for guests. Now, let's assume that this is for both. Parking is strictly self-parking, and it is at the tenant's own risks. Landlord is not responsible for, nor does landlord assume any liability for damages caused by fire, theft, casualty, or any other cause whatsoever. With respect to any car or its content, parking is for licensed vehicles only, and violators of the provisions may be towed at owner's expense without notification. Without notification, there is to be no repairing of vehicles on the grounds. Okay. So basically, park at your own risks. Park at your own risk. No, nowhere there it says that you're not able to park past 6 o'clock. That if you do park by 6 o'clock, that you have to get a permit by them, and then you have to be there by 10. However, I'm going to go to this place because it was last night, and this is what is really conflicting also. So I did call the police. I've never done this before, so I don't know how it worked really. And they explained to me. So what the police did, they just did a police report, basically documenting that I called them and that I'm telling them that my car was towed. That's all they can do. There's nothing else. And they know this. The condominium association know this, and the tow company know this. So if I want to bring justice about for what this is happening to probably many people, by the way, that happened to 2 or 3 people while I was there. They just didn't call the police or did anything You know, they just wanted to get their car. People don't go and look at the regulations. And this happening to them all the time. So the police telling me, if you want to make justice about this, you have to sue the condominium and it will become a civil case, because this is not a criminal case. Since it's not a criminal case, we cannot be involved. It has to be done through civil court, and then you have to sue them. Like, how many people want to go through that process? They're probably just gonna go and get their car. They just want to go home. So this fine was $179 for them to tow a car that was not illegally parked in a place, because they say to park at your own risk. This is outrageous. This is bothersome to me, and this is why I'm talking about this today. I know it's not joyful. It is the 4th of July, but I just cannot sit here and pretend like this is not happening to many people. Please drop it in the comments below. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm missing something, because I want to bring awareness to everybody that's visiting any condominium. If it's not clearly stated that you're not able to park there, or it has the rules, how are the people, the consumers, the people that come in there, or the people that live there going to have visitors without being scared that they have to get their stuff towed? And no notice to you. And then the rules are not clear to the owners or anyone else. And you don't have anything, no signage in the front. This is not how people live. People shouldn't live in fear. They shouldn't live that like they don't want anybody visiting them because they're afraid. My family members felt really embarrassed, and I wasn't doing all of this bringing attention to what happened to embarrass them. I was not mad at them. Let me tell you something. This happened in Hialeah. This is the city, if you're not from here, you know, it's on the outskirts of Miami. And this city is known to be the most Spanish-speaking community in South Florida, if not in the whole state or the whole nation. People there speak Spanish. And if you can see this, not just that they speak Spanish, most of the people that live here in this community only speak Spanish. And yes, we are in America, but this is in English. And they want you to follow the rules when it's explained to you in a language that you don't understand. I don't think it's fair. And what they should have known. Yes, they should have known. But just like you have a tow-away zone right in front of the garbage bin, or you have a do not park here because it's towed, you can also do that. You can do a small signage and say, guest needs to get a parking permit or a guest pass. Guests get a guest pass. Something. If this is the case, which I don't read here, this does not read like that. You guys tell me. I think I'm missing something. It just doesn't make sense. So I really just wanted to talk to you guys about what just happened to me, and how I believe I'm not the only person that gets affected by this all the time, and how nobody does anything, and how the police themselves and the owners or their tenants in these premises feel that they have no control, and they don't have a peace of mind in their own. I mean, when you live in a place, whether you're buying it or renting it, that's your home. You sign a lease there to say, I am responsible to pay your rent. And in turn, they need to feel safe and that they live in a place with peace. I just don't understand. Yeah, you want to enforce the rules, then have clear rules. So you're quickly to enforce a rule that nobody knows. Anyway, guys, I really hope that you enjoy a safe 4th of July. Have a great day today. Thank you for tuning in if you are watching me live. If you have any questions or if this happened to you, come to this podcast, send me a message. Let's talk about it. Tell me your issues. Tell me your problems. Let's bring awareness about what's happening here in our associations. Again, this is an association in a condominium associations. I want to learn more about it because as a real estate agent, I need to understand what happens in these places so that I can advise my clients in a good way. Guys, happy 4th. Happy Independence Day. We are in a free country, and I'm grateful for that. Again, this is Building Connections, Doral Talks. This is your host, Betty Gonzalez. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye.
Real quick, calling all Doral professionals, entrepreneurs, and community influencers. Are you ready to showcase your business, share your knowledge and experience with our engaged audience? Building Connections Doral Talks invites you to become a guest speaker on our podcast. Share your unique perspectives and inspiring stories with our listeners. We believe in the power of your voice in shaping the conversations right here in Doral. Click the link below to submit your information and be part of our next episode. Join us in building connections, sharing knowledge, and growing together. Don't miss this opportunity to be a featured guest on Building Connections Doral Talks. Tune in, connect, share, and grow together with Building Connections Doral Talks, reshaping the way we engage with the diverse voices of Doral, one guest at a time. Doral Talks, your voice, our community. Click the link now on the show notes, the screen, or in the comments below, or just scan the QR code to submit your information as a guest. I hope to see you soon. See you in the next podcast. Bye.